nowhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host, still, guys, after 16 years. Thanks for joining us this week on the show, where each week we feature inspirational locals. I have a repeat guest from, I believe, quite a few years ago, and a first-time guest with me, both longtime friends. I want to welcome back Troy Selby to the show and Greg Topper. Guys, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Hello, Erik.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Troy, didn't you join Wheaton on the show back in the day when you guys had started 520?
Back in 2010, we came in and did a little chat and told us what we were doing and opened a new restaurant, a.k.a. the 520 Grill. And, and can't hard to believe it's been almost 10 years again.
That's amazing. Still going strong.
Going strong.
Stronger than ever. In fact, expanding with some new ideas we'll talk about on the show. But I want to kind of track back a little bit. And we may have touched on this, Troy, but where do you hail from originally? Where were you born and raised?
Well, I got a long story. I was actually born in Austin, Texas. I had foster parents in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Got adopted before the age of 1 and grew up in Burlington, Vermont.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so bouncing around a lot in those first years.
So
was Vermont then your main kind of influence in childhood?
That was my childhood influence. A little town called Essex Junction, a little time in Middlebury area.
Okay.
Middlebury College, and then Essex Junction, Vermont, which is right outside of Burlington. And I did my grade school through high school through culinary school all there in Vermont.
And was there a moment like in childhood that you were inspired by food? Can you remember something like that?
It was a little later. I mean, we grew up with a little bit of the farm life as a young child, and then so we had gardens and animals and that kind of stuff, and always had great food available. Oh. Both my grandparents were grandfathers and grandmothers were great cooks, hunters, and one was a hunter, and we cooked venison and went fishing and did stuff like that, and he liked to cook that stuff that he caught or killed.
Nice.
And taught me some of that. And my other grandmother was in Maine, so we did summers in Maine, and she loved to cook seafood. And I was inspired by that. And then some of my culinary inspiration came from like Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. I loved the turkey and the gravy and the stuffing, and so I took it on early to learn how to make that so I could do the turkey dinners at home.
So, like, how old were you before you were able to kind of take on, like, a Thanksgiving dinner? Was that relatively young?
Yeah, 14, 15.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I started doing that kind of stuff, and, and cooking breakfast and making pancakes and just kind of doing simple stuff. And
I know guys 2-3 times that age that can't do that stuff. Still, like,
I wasn't doing it
then.
Yeah, I was definitely not doing it then.
What about you, Greg? And you go by Topper around town? As locals know.
Yeah, that's mostly because I had the restaurant Toppers, so everybody kind of knows me by that way.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows my first name, but that's okay.
Okay,
but I'm happy to go with Topper.
We're putting it out there today, man.
It's Topper's fine, but it's Greg Topper. So
we call him Greg Topper. We call him Topper. We call him GT.
I was going to say GT could be a good one too.
All my close friends and the ones that have been around since the restaurant, it's Topper, which is just fine. So.
So were they calling you Topper as a kid growing up, or that was?
Yeah, there were a lot of people didn't know my first name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where was that? Where do you hail from originally?
I was born in San Francisco, but grew up in Mill Valley, which is Marin County, just across the Golden Gate.
Oh, nice.
And so
playing on Mount Tam at all as a kid?
Playing on Mount Tam. Well, we used to, instead of riding up the hills before there were single tracks and mountain bikes, we got our dads to drive us up with our BMX bikes, and we used to drive down deer trails. That's what we called them.
Okay.
They were single tracks, but deer trails and that kind of stuff. So that was before we got into cars, but that was, that's supposedly one of the places that mountain biking was born.
No doubt. And have you seen the movie Clunkers?
I did.
Have you guys seen Clunkers?
Yeah.
Actually,
when the Marin guys get together with the Crested Butte guys.
Yeah.
They're kind of developing clunker bikes around the same time, which was amazing.
There's
So tinkering around with those
Yeah, there was
clunkers.
a race down Mount Tam called the Repack.
Yes, that's in the movie actually,
Yeah.
with like Gary Fisher and all those
Yeah,
guys.
and those guys
Joe
in
Breeze.
jeans and boots, and I had my a Breezer was my first bike.
No kidding.
Yeah, and then I had a Marin.
Dude.
So yeah.
What a treat to grow up kind of in a hotbed, one of the hotbeds of cycling and
Yeah,
all that, and
it
you were
was
doing the
awesome.
BMX.
I
So
was
the shuttle up
BMX.
Mount Tam and the BMX down.
Yep.
On
the
like
mo-
game trails, basically.
Yep. The mongoose with the mags.
Yep,
Yeah.
remember that.
Coaster
Yeah.
break.
Actually, one of my very first mountain bikes in the early 80s was a Mongoose.
Yeah.
Because they were one of the first ones, like GT,
Yep.
that jumped from BMX to mountain bike.
Yeah.
But guys, we have so much to talk about
Okay,
besides
sorry.
BMX and mountain biking. No,
I know, we
we're
could
going to
go
get
all
to the
day.
stuff that you do after, which is
Yeah,
eat a lot of food.
There you go.
And good food at that.
That's right.
And we also want to talk about our great meal we had after Trash Crush, our community cleanup event. But first, we're going to take a quick break, rehydrate. I want to thank our summer underwriters, Aspen Square, Klug Properties, the Independence Pass Foundation, Pitkin County Landfill, and Sundog Athletics. We'll go to our only break of the show, guys. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We've got the TNT blowing it up with Troy and Topper. So don't go away.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Celebrating another great summer season, Aspen Square Hotel is the hospitality place featuring fireplace studio suites and larger condominiums with full hotel-style services in the center of downtown Aspen. Aspen Square is proud to support The Locals Show.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
The Independence Pass Foundation, for 30 years restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience the most beautiful adventure locations and gain new skills to be safer, perform better, and have more fun. Fresh updates on mountain and road biking, hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, and fat biking adventures at sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
We're back here on the local show with the Men in Black, TNT, Troy and Topper. And guys, I thought guys like in the restaurant business used to always wear white. It was like almost like you'd walk into a hospital and everyone was white.
Yeah.
But that's obviously not the case with the Men in Black.
Not the case as much anymore. I mean, that was definitely the real French culinary school thing,
Exactly.
and the hotels
Haute
and
cuisine.
and all that stuff. I went through that era, and I wore the paper tall hats and had to shave every single day and try to keep a white full-length apron and a double-breasted chef coat with long sleeves, clean all day long.
Ugh.
And it was just really hard to do.
Right.
And then it was double-breasted and warm and thick, and you're working in a 100-degree kitchen, and, and you're like, I'm dying over here. And so in the last couple of years, the last decade or more, like there's a lot of chef clothing companies out there, and they've gone to like short-sleeve shirts, short-sleeve chef coats, three-quarter length pants, even kind of like
No
different kind of
kidding.
stuff, baggies and colorful. People have like red chili chef coats and Hawaiian ones and Japanese kind of style, and there's so many styles now that people are embracing. It's like a whole new chef culture where everybody has tattoos and stuff, so they wanted a short sleeve so people could see their tattoos. And
Okay.
so it just all kind of morphed into a more casual environment in the greater U.S. for sure, until you get into the corporate world of hotels and Four Seasons and those kind of things.
Right. And maybe they air condition the kitchen at that point or somehow vent it better. But
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't seem practical because it gets so hot. Actually, one of my first jobs was flipping burgers at Cooper Street Pier.
Yeah.
And that was basically like a little hallway behind the bar.
Yeah.
And it would get well above 100 degrees. And I was wearing white for a point. It was more just the white apron and the white hat.
Yes.
But man, that stuff was brown by the end of the shift.
Yeah.
From all that grill smoke and stuff coming off the grill, it's like it's totally related. It almost seems like it reminded me of a second when you were talking of skiing, where you're getting more wickability, more function, like airing your body out, like more functional even clothing, in addition to the fashion with the tattoos and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I made the shift because I do private chefing. I'm a private chef for some families in town, and keeping the white coat, at some point you can't get it clean anymore.
Right.
So black is great.
Right. Yep. A little more. Well, we're into reusables.
That's right.
Yeah, we like reusables here in Aspen. So you guys have Troy. You've had 520 going now for how many years in total?
9.
9 years.
Opened in 2010.
Congratulations.
May 20th. That's hence part of the name. 520 2010, and 520 being our street address and the day we opened, kind of coincided.
Okay.
And joke is all is it's an hour later you're hungry because we're located next to Silver Peak Apothecary.
Right. There's the 420 and 520 timing. That's key.
That's right.
Timing is everything in life.
Yep.
And I do want to thank you. I want to give you guys some love for hosting our post community cleanup. It was called Trash Crush. It was our 4th annual cleanup on June 1st. And you guys were so generous to host the lunch after everyone enjoyed it. We had plenty of great food and variety of food. And man, talk about again, we work up these incredible hungers through our exercise, through our physical work, many of us. And I'm going to ask you, Topper, that has to be kind of one of the things you consider, or I should say, is that one of the things you consider are these heavy exercise, heavy activity Aspenites, and then creating your menu around that? Those kind of needs, or how does that kind of work?
For me, not so much. I mean, especially in this concept, the breakfast thing. It's more about cooking correctly with great product and simpleness, and not going too crazy with stuff. So, I'm a big proponent of eggs, as far as my own health and dietary things. I think they're awesome as far as a single unit that has so much power in each one, and that was kind of where the concept came from, was that I love eggs, and nobody's doing great sandwiches or great bowls, and we've had some closures in the last 6 months of breakfast spots, and the window was open, and Troy and I talked about that, and again, taking advantage of some hours that he's not using, and although on the flip side, if you were going to go hike the Ute or hike Aspen Mountain or get on your bike, a good solid sandwich with some good protein and carbs, and get going, and it'd be there for a while.
Right.
So you're not losing.
Well, you're more the pre-workout almost, or start your day meal.
That's right.
And then Troy, I know we've talked in the past about kind of you called your quinoa salad like the yoga mom's lunch and stuff like that, and maybe that's more the post-workout because people have had these active mornings
They've already
typically,
had their active
especially if
morning.
they want to beat the afternoon. Snow shower or rain shower in monsoon season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit more about the pop-up concept. Troy, can you kind of introduce the viewers to your and Topper pop-up idea?
Pop-up idea. Eggs at 520 Grill. Like you were saying about the menu, it's egg heavy, egg strong, but not a heavy menu. We're trying healthier, lighter ingredients, because people are eating. The trend is to eat smaller meals more frequently throughout the day.
Yep.
We're not carb heavy, and my lunch is carb heavy with sweet potato fries and French fries and all other breads and that kind of stuff. So we wanted to have something that was totally different than what we were doing in the rest of the day. One, because the variety is nice to cook and make something different, and to offer something that isn't normally seen or hasn't been done as much around town yet. And so with Greg's menu, I let him take the lead on that and come up with these dishes, and then we talked about it, whittled it down to what made sense for each sandwich or each bowl, and that kind of stuff. It was only a little bit of cross use of ingredients, but we're trying to use healthy fresh arugula, cage-free eggs, nitrate-free bacon, making homemade turkey sausage. We're doing a polenta dish, which I'll let Greg talk more about. We're doing egg and rice scramble dish, which is really great. And so there's just something that's little more unique. We really want people to try it, and we'll see where it goes from there. And if we get good feedback, then we might add and subtract or grow or change the ingredient list or the menu a little bit as we go. But we wanted to throw something out there unique and different for people to try, and go from there.
Right, and I like that the option of grab and go. You know, you can quickly, like these guys heading off to work or people have an appointment, they can grab and go, or they can sit down and eat. Is that going to be the case for breakfast
Absolutely.
as well?
I mean, the system that is in place at Troy's, you know, we're very casual, but, you know, top quality food. And so we do have a fair amount of people, just like when I had my restaurant, it was similar. We're seeing about 50-50 to go and sit down.
Okay.
And so the egg dishes are, you know, kind of created and designed so that they're quick and fast, so people can get in and get out. And of course, you know, starting with the great products, healthy products, and then utilizing them to make it happen. So.
And then really the value lies then with the combination of the quality, the uniqueness, the creativity, and the pricing. Can you give people, we don't really talk about it, but affordable, let's just leave it at that. That's part of the concept.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're using fresh baked bread every day, delivery from Louis Swiss. You know, the brioche buns are amazing. And so, you know, that whole combination of getting the percentages and then make the numbers work is where it's at, and we are doing it as affordably as possible for everybody else. So, you know, we both know about pricing in town, and not only our own places, but going out and how that can definitely put a dent in the pocketbook. So we try to make it really, you know, building on what Troy already has, which is a locals place. So that we're just trying to continue that with the breakfast concept. So
right, a little expansion, see how it goes.
Yeah.
So see how it goes this summer is kind of the idea.
Yep. So
and maybe continue on into the off season and beyond.
The pop-up concept is, you know, it's we're doing it. We can do it. If it's successful, great. We're kind of thinking that we go through the winter because, you know, now everybody goes every different direction because everything's open. But in the winter, we're focused on the gondola and skiing and stuff. So we're going to probably spend the next, you know, year doing it and see where that falls. So we're looking forward to, and, you know, we're looking forward to great success. And, you know, last week versus this week is we're climbing. So we're not going, which is great. So even though Food and Wine was here, you know, 2 weeks ago, which was great, we were busy. We had some celebrity chefs in there too, and it was a lot of fun. So, you know, we just keep it going, and you know, get everybody in there. We had the fire department and the ambulance department in there today, and Sheriff Joe's been in there, and so, you know, people are coming to check us out and talking good things. So
do you have to reach out to these different individuals, like these chefs or these different local organizations, or do they just kind of come in naturally?
I spent some time running around town before we opened and dropping off menus and going to concierges and doing the typical kind of here we are kind of thing.
Yep.
And we both, from the Aspen Times and the Daily News, they gave us some nice press. So, you know, it's building, so it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Troy, could you just describe maybe just in general in the business, you know, 520 Grill and including the new pop-up, you know, breakfast, kind of the main challenges and the main rewards that you really, you know, have now noticed now that you're, 10 years into the business, and a decade in? What are some of those things you really challenge you, yet also really reward you?
You know, the restaurant business is challenging every day, no matter what. It's full of surprises.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do and a lot to get done in short periods of time. It's always been a hurry up and wait game.
Yeah.
Like, you get everything ready as quickly as you can and hope that people show up, and they almost always do, but you never know when or what time. And
right. You try to forecast too.
You try to forecast
with your ordering of food and your preparation of food.
And that sort of thing. And that's been the one challenge with breakfast so far is, you know, we're trying to do this early morning thing, get people interested early, because we're early risers. We're morning people. I burn the candle on all ends. I like to get up early. I like to stay up late. sometimes they want to ride in the morning and then go eat, and that all happens before 10 o'clock in my life, you know. And
What time does breakfast start? What time is breakfast service?
we start at 7.
Okay,
So we're
that's
7
an
to
early
10.
morning
We're
riser.
7 to 10:30 is what it's turning into.
Okay.
And we're doing a lot of the bulk of our business in that last 45 minutes, which is challenging for my crew and myself to be to go into the lunch mode, which is okay. I like it. It's allowing us to look at how we do our setup and prep and everything differently, and it's kind of mixing up my routine and my daily grind that I've been doing for 9 years, exactly the same, at exactly the same time, exactly the same way. So having this new influence and having one of the rewards is I get to spend time with Greg in the morning, and we listen to reggae and make food and eat different food than I'm normally eating, and have different conversations, and we're meeting new customers and new people and new faces in 520 Grill, and seeing the response, and the reward is seeing people like it, and that this idea does have the potential to grow and become something maybe great or extraordinary.
I would imagine the social aspect has to be really enjoyable, whether it's buddies that just stop by or someone new or a celebrity chef, which is really a treat. And then to see them enjoy the food on top of it just has to be really kind of super rewarding and probably heartwarming, because it's like when you make it with your own hands, that's like as good as it gets, you know, if someone appreciates that, right? Yeah,
you know, it's made everything, it's always been our motto is, you know, everything's made fresh to order as much as possible. I mean, there's nothing pre-assembled sitting on the shelf that we're going to hand across the counter to you. Even the salads, even the egg sandwiches, we're not making them ahead of time and putting them in a hot case and then handing them to you. Everything, your eggs your way, your burger your way. Everything we do is from when you tell us how you want it to when we hand it to you. And
you know, there is this one restaurant that says "Have it your way." I don't know if you've heard about that.
I've heard that
have
before.
Have it your way. Have it your way. That was
we did spend a fair
back.
Amount of time creating the menu, so we're hoping that people, enjoy what we've created. But we're happy to accommodate whatever else if they like to make changes. You know, fried egg versus scrambled egg.
You welcome customer input.
Absolutely.
As long as it's positive. So here's one for you, Topper. One of your favorite summer activities and the meal to follow off the 520 Grill menu. Could be anything. But favorite summer activity, one of your favorites, and then one of your favorite après meals.
Après meal. So my favorite was what I did this morning after working breakfast, which was ride up to Hummingbird.
Nice.
And then the long descent, and then going in and having fish tacos.
Oh, that sounds like perfect.
Right?
Like, I mean, and then the local show.
And then the local
It's like
show.
your ultimate day.
And then I get to go hang out with my 4-year-old at T-ball.
Okay. Is that a good thing?
It's great.
It must be great.
Yeah.
How's he hitting it off the tee?
He's learning.
Okay.
We're learning.
Still working.
He's got a wild swing, but
it's that hand-eye coordination thing right there.
Yeah, he's got it. He just, the directions that we're working on. Focus.
Well, Troy, I'll come in a little different angle with you. You have a son, Remy, correct?
Remy.
And say you and Remy went and did an activity together. Say it was riding bikes or like doing a little hike or something. What would you guys like to have after?
Well, you know, Remy has been a corn dog connoisseur for quite some time.
Corn dog.
Yeah, you know, it's rare that a day or two goes by that he doesn't have at least 1 or 2 corn dogs at 520 Grill through our travels. He spends a lot of time down there with me.
Doesn't he have a pretty good growth rate too? Like for a kid his size or a kid his age?
You know, he started
Maybe
out
those corn dogs, he's stretching them out.
Yeah,
or something.
you know, he started out in the lower percentile, but he seems to be getting taller every day now. He's definitely grown a lot in the last few months.
How old is he now?
He just turned 6 in June.
Wow, that's special.
And he's a handful. We call him Aspen Remy. Aspen Remy. He has his own handle, his own Instagram. I mean, he's
wow. That kid's happening.
My wife manages it, but there's more pictures on him on the internet than there are of me.
It's a good thing.
Well, he is, you know, he's a little cuter than
he is a little
cuter.
cuter.
It's an objective, you know.
Yep,
it's an objective third party.
I can't
he's
go.
a pretty rock star looking little guy.
Yeah, you know. He is.
But he had to get those looks from somewhere too.
Yes, his mom is gorgeous.
Yeah, let's talk about your wife, May.
Miss
May's
May.
known around town.
Miss May is known around town. She works at the Little Nell Hotel in PR and social media.
And DJ Mayfly,
DJ
right?
Mayfly, another nickname that I came up with over the years.
Nice.
And she's does that part-time. She's also Mountain Mayhem and writes for the Aspen Times Weekly now. Started out in the Aspen Times years ago, and now she's in the Weekly, her social column, which gets us into lots of the cool and great events around town, and then she gets to write about it and take pictures and that sort of thing.
I've always enjoyed her. I knew her prior to you guys being married, and just one of the favorite locals to see around town. She always seems to be in a positive, pretty happy mode, and I know her life
Every
with
race,
you guys,
every
her
uphill.
boys, it makes her even happier. So, did you guys have fun on the show today?
Of course.
Great
Time
show.
went like that.
Just like that.
Just like a grab and go at 5:20 for breakfast.
That's
just
right.
in and out like that.
That's right.
With some tastiness. So hope you had a good time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for all you do in our community.
Yeah.
Thanks again for supporting our community in so many ways. And you guys walk with Paul. I almost forgot. I made homemade cookies.
Oh,
Homemade
thank you.
Couple
cookies.
brand new.
Awesome.
They haven't been used yet, but they're reusable containers from Pitkin County Landfill.
Awesome. Thank
including the new groovy kind of tie-dye one.
you. You're going to eat those on the way out the door.
You guys will be one of my highest level quality testers. So let me know
Excellent.
what you think about it. It's organic chocolate chip and coconut.
Okay.
All right.
Not bad.
Let me know what you think. All right, guys, and we'll see you at the restaurant soon. And thank you guys for watching this week on The Local Show.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
The Independence Pass Foundation, for 30 years restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's adventure sports school, is your opportunity to experience the most beautiful adventure locations and gain new skills to be safer, perform better, and have more fun. Fresh updates on mountain and road biking, hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, and fat biking adventures at sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to